Good evening, everyone. It's 6 o'clock. It's March 26, 2024, and we're going to call this meeting to order. We'll start this evening with the roll call. If you would, Ms. Kittrell, please.
Vice Mayor Love.
Here.
Councilman Carter.
Present.
Councilman Fan.
Here.
Councilman Fennell.
Here.
Councilwoman George.
Here.
Councilman Hayes.
Present.
And Councilman Juvance. Mayor, we have a quorum.
Thank you so much. You do not have any minutes for approval tonight, so we'll move on to public recognition. Tonight's public recognition is for any item that's on the agenda or not on the agenda, because this is a work session / committee meeting. So if you have something you'd like to say, you may come forward at this time. You'll have 5 minutes to speak. We ask that you give us your name and your address, and that opens public recognition. And no one is leaping from their seat to rush forward. So in that case, public recognition is closed, and we will move now to mayor's comments. And I have a flyer that Ms. George put here. It's Heroes Eat Free. Thank you, local heroes, police, firefighters, and EMS. Free lunch on us, May 3rd, 11 to 1 at Reliant Realty, located on Hunt Club Boulevard. Also, a few other events I will make sure we mention. Richard Dupree's birthday is coming up on the 29th. I think that's Friday. Good Friday is also Friday. Lyndon Satterfield's birthday's that day too, isn't it? So happy birthday to him too. Also on Friday, the Friends of the Gallatin Miracle Park VIP Egg Hunt. That happens from 10 a.m. till 12 p.m. That is a private event for people with disabilities and their families. There's a Good Friday Fest at United Church. That's from 7 to 8:30 p.m. On Saturday, there is the Easter Extravaganza at Clearview Park, hosted by Councilman Stephen Carter. Then coming up next week, there is the Vol State Women Empowering Education Luncheon that happens on the 5th at Our Lady of the Lake. American Legion Breakfast on the 6th. The 6th is also the all-day cleanup for Sumner County, and we have several locations identified at which we want to clean up here in Gallatin. Gallatin volunteers always pick up the largest load or close to the largest load, but we want it to be the largest load this year. So you can sign up for that. You can show up for that, and we will be dispatching people around Sumner County to help with the cleanup. And then spring plant sale at Gallatin Farmers Market on the 13th of April. And I think that is all for now. So with that, we will move to the regular agenda. And the first item on the regular agenda is a dangerous building at 1122 Drew Road. It's 135DH014.00000, First American Realty LLC. It's a request for a show cause hearing on a dangerous building. And not Mr. Stewart, Charles. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Council. Charles Durfling with City Codes Department. Tonight we bring to you the building located at 1122. Oh, there, sorry. Charles Durfling with the Building Codes Department. Tonight we bring forth for you the property located at 1122 Drew Road. This was a property that was damaged during the tornado back in December, and it has nothing done to it since then. As you can see, pictures speak for themselves of what's in the packet, as well as more specifics on the code violations associated with it. The building official feels this is a dangerous building and requests a show cause hearing to be granted.
30 days notice on that? Okay. So if someone wants to make a motion for a show cause hearing, it needs to be at least 30 days out.
Between 10 and 30.
I'm sorry?
Has to be between 10 and 30.
Between 10, it has to be between 10 and 30. So we would want to do that on the 9th or the 16th or the 24th, 23rd.
I move for a show cause hearing on this building on April 23rd.
Again?
Isn't it?
Is that a mobile home?
Yes, sir. So even if they were to repair it, there's special circumstances with the state that would have to be taken.
I would go
to
the week
get it
prior
repaired.
would be a meeting, which would be the,
16th.
yeah, 16th.
I'll amend that to April 16th.
Say again?
Motion by Vice Mayor Love, second by Councilman Juvance for a show cause hearing on April 16th. Any question, any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no.
Thank you very much.
Unanimously supported. Thank you, Mr. Derflinger. Item 2 is ordinance 02403-16, ordinance awarding bid and authorizing funds in the total amount of $5,800,000 from Water Sewer 2021 bond sales for the East Side Water Transmission Mains Project, Contract 324. Mr. Kellogg.
Thank you, Mayor Brown. Good evening. David Kellogg, Superintendent of Public Utilities. This is an ordinance authorizing the bid and authorizing the mayor to sign the contract for the East Side Water Transmission Project. It's replacing water mains on Airport Road, Commerce Way, addresses 3 projects off of our 10-year capital improvement plan.
Motion to send on.
Motion by Councilman Fennell, second by Councilman Carter. Are there any questions? Is there any discussion? Mr. Javance.
Thank you, Mayor. I got asked what the East Side Water Transmission Main Project, and I was wondering if for the next council we could have a brief description of what it is, because when we talk about, $5.8 million constituents, kind of wonder what it is. So
I have the construction plans with me if you want to see them after the meeting.
it's not just me. It's,
But I do have the construction plans with me
Yeah.
if someone wants to see them.
I appreciate that, but maybe we could put that on a packet next week so people can see what it is. Thank you.
Else? Okay, ordinance 02403-16, motion and second to send it on to council. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Passes unanimously. Item 3 is resolution R2403-20, resolution authorizing the mayor to sign a joinder agreement to a master subscription license agreement between the city of Goodlettsville and ESO Solutions. Chief Jeff Beeman.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, council. This resolution is to authorize the mayor to sign a joinder agreement between ESO Solutions and the city of Goodlettsville. In 2018, the Gallatin Fire Department, Hendersonville Fire Department, and Goodlettsville Fire Department entered into a purchasing agreement for fire record software for cost-saving measures. And they've asked us just to update the joinder agreement since we're an affiliate customer through this contract and subscription service for the software.
Motion to move.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Fennell, second by Vice Mayor Love. Are there any questions? Anyone? Okay, this is resolution R2403-20. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Does pass unanimously. Item 4 is resolution R2403-23, resolution authorizing the Gallatin Police Department to apply for the AKC Reunite Adopt a Canine Cop Grant. Chief Bandy.
Yes, this is asking permission to apply for this grant. We just received one this last year. We're retiring Castle and got him a good home, so we're wanting to work with this company to get us another canine.
Motion to
Send
send
it
on.
on.
Second.
Motion by Vice Mayor Love, second by Councilman Shavant. Are there any questions, any comments? What?
Again.
Oh, second, Councilman Carter. I apologize. Y'all sound so much alike. Anyone? Okay, resolution R2403-23. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Passes unanimously. Item 5, financial reports for the month of February. Ms. Nichols, Finance Director.
We have the February financial reports in your packet. Most of the funds are moving along nicely through the year. Don't see anything that's really concerning. I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Anyone with any questions? Ms. Nichols. That was easy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nichols. And then finally, police boat discussion. Councilman Fennell.
I'm only one councilman, and I wanted to, I've always thought in the last 2 or 3 years that we might ought to put a boat on the water just during peak holidays or through the weekend. I don't want to add to Chief Bandy's line of duties he's got, but if we could save a life or just be on the water when it's at peak usage, I think it would be smart for us to have a boat to be out into the area. And I'm not saying like patrol it, but, stop something before it happens or just be there in support of the citizens. There's a lot of traffic out there now, and I see every year just getting more and more. I did ask, I think I started on this or said something about it last year, and I've always had in the back of my mind. I asked Don if he could get some prices together and see where we stand and if this was possible for us to go forward with this. Don, could you come up and tell us a little bit about it?
Yes, sir. And the whole thing with the boat, we've been talking with TWRA, Tennessee Wildlife, and they're going to, looks like they're going to gift us a boat, so we don't have to purchase one right now. So, and the rest of and I can send this out to you. I've got a list of pricing for equipment, what have you, and the majority of it, almost all of it's in our budget. So.
And this boat right now will be on a trailer, so if we're able to launch this program, then we can put it in the water, and then you can have some guys maybe on a Saturday, Sunday, maybe a Friday.
Yeah, and we sent out interest email today, and we've already, I was by the office a while ago, and the shift changed, and I've had 2 or 3 officers stop me. So it seems like we'll get plenty of folks to be out there. Of course, we'll get them trained up and commissioned through TWRA. We already have a couple officers that do that. I just think it's another way to get out there. Again, I know it can't be a full-time thing right now, but I do think it's another chance for us to be out in the community. And, I think it'll be a positive result, I hope, anyway.
One thing that I said to Don is these wakeboard boats now puts off a lot of waves. And some of the boat docks have got signs up there that, you're responsible for your waves. But I'm getting a lot of phone calls from people, and I know that they know I live on the lake and I know what's going on, but there's a lot of people that buzz these docks and gets the boat docks to rocking a lot, and it pulls the spud pose out or the tiers. But I was just thinking, when it's really, really busy out there and people start getting a little careless and reckless or something like that by just seeing the boat in that area, I think it might curve a lot of this mischief.
Where would it be sitting, launched or,
Well, it'd be trailered, so they can put in wherever.
but where?
Well, and we haven't worked it out yet, but we have plenty of locations. We can find some,
Say
but it's going to be on a trailer.
Close to wherever they're heading.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I really don't feel like there's anywhere to go if it's being given to you and you've got the equipment and the personnel within your department. I think it's actually your discretion.
And our first priority will obviously be answering calls for service, inland, if you will, but.
I do not want you policing wakes, but that's my preference, so.
And again, it's kind of like, when we're conducting traffic enforcement, if you see a black and
Presence.
white deterrent, a visible deterrent is what we're looking for, hopefully, and hopefully that will work, so.
Sounds like an excellent idea, especially since you don't have to pay for the boat.
Is Hendersonville doing anything like that now?
Absolutely.
They've had one for a while.
They've got a big fancy boat.
They also
Very
have
strong.
horses.
You have
Have what?
horses.
Horses, too.
But we're working.
You
baby
look
steps,
good on that
baby steps.
horse.
I was going to say that.
Or-
You,
oh.
you took it out of me. Equestrian patrol on the park, that would be good.
Do what, sir?
Equestrian patrol on the park, that would be good too, but yeah, I know.
Not me.
Yeah, I'm with Sean on that. I think we're growing a lot. That means we're going to have more and more people on the lake. And we're talking about what period of the year?
Sorry.
What period of the day?
What period of the year?
Obviously, when it gets warmer and there are more people out there, it'd probably be, afternoons, Friday afternoons, maybe, and holiday weekends and
Hey,
Saturdays.
high traffic days, high traffic days.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I can add in on that. If it's a pretty day outside, they'll start lining up about I'm not saying do it on Thursday, but they'll start jockeying for spots out there on Thursday. But Friday evening would be a good suggestion, and Saturday and maybe half a day Sunday or something like that.
So you have numbers on equipment and training, how much we're talking about?
Well, and again, I haven't totaled up what it would be. You got, say, boater safety, you got $40 a student. I don't know how many students we're going to have. Pending costs on the actual boat course for TWRA. And then there's a whole bunch of letters here on this stuff that I don't understand, but it's pending costs. So we have a good training budget you guys have already provided for us, so I think we're going to be fine. We're not going to train everybody and certify everybody, but we're going to, find some folks. And like I said, we already have a couple folks on staff that's going to help us and get us trained up. You're looking at just the portable radio is $8,000. And of course, that's where, can't get it. It's waterproof, that type of thing. Paint and striping, that's what we would do for a patrol car. We want it to look, kind of like our similar scheme as what we have. Lights, we're going to estimate $5,000, but it's probably not going to be that much. Life vests, the $275 each, minimum 4 per boat, so it's like $1,100. So, and of course, duty gear, but we're looking at probably, not to bathe this, I guess. We're looking at something similar to our
It's
bicycle.
swimsuits.
Swimsuit.
Bike patrol.
Here we come.
Don't look at me.
Don't make me laugh.
I see it coming.
We wear on bike patrol as well.
Yeah, it's pretty much what we're wearing on bike patrol. But again, it's something. We're not going to reinvent the wheel. We're obviously conferring with Hendersonville and some other places that do some things like that. TWRA is a great resource.
What do you need from us?
I think just your blessing right now and to get it going. And hopefully, I was told, I guess yesterday, that the request has already been put on the commissioner's desk, and we're waiting for it to be signed as far as gifting us the boat. So we're very grateful to the state for being a good partner.
I think just as long as nobody has any strong objections, you're good to go.
All for it?
How much authority will you have, Don?
Well, that's what we're still trying to research. Of course, TWRA has the whole place, and we don't want the whole place. We just want what's in the city limits of Gallatin, and that's pretty much probably what we'll be able to take care of.
But remember, the lake is not, so.
So,
Will you cover like the 109 bridge back? Is that kind of what you got in mind?
I don't want to tell you we will, because I don't know yet. I've still got to sort that out, because this is one
We'll
of those
have
things.
to learn what they can enforce and what they
Yeah.
cannot.
And really, we want to be in, I want to be in the coves and the pretty much right along that shoreline there, to stay there and just to, we don't have to be on patrol the whole time. We can just be seen and be there. Hopefully, of course, there'll be, baby steps and some things to work out, but I think we'll be all right. It's just, and again, we'll keep you guys obviously informed as soon as we get all this going, and even a policy and procedure. We're going to put together something there to make sure we're doing it the right way, to make sure our city attorney's happy, and obviously.
That's probably the only thing we definitely do need to do before it's put in service. Under
Absolutely.
insurance.
For people that don't know, one, we do have a nice fireboat, and I know they go out from time to time, and the kids really like seeing it, and they clear their pumps, and it is something to see, the equipment that we've got. One thing I might add is in these coves, there's like 4 areas in our Gallatin area that, if you have a nice day, just behind my house, you can have 50 to 150 boats out there tied up. So it's a lot of people. Okay, thank you, Don.
Thank you. Any other questions? Thank y'all.
I would like to make a motion to send it to council.
Second.
I don't think we need to.
No.
I think that was, the conversation. I think you're fine with it because it's within their budget and he knows the steps to get it.
And Paige, I was meaning it's not like to go out and try to write tickets or anything like that. Just being a presence out there, it might deter a lot of.
Yeah, but they still have to know what their authority is because there always could be a situation where they need
I
to.
understand.
That's part of what they'll learn. Have confidence in them. Thank y'all. That's the end of the agenda, and it brings us to other business. Start with this body before we go to department heads, other business.
Thank you, Mayor. Still coming back to the soccer field. Do you have any update on what's going on and what we're doing?
Waiting on an appraisal.
Thank you, ma'am.
Further discussions.
You'll probably bring that forward as soon as you find out something, wouldn't you?
Have the means to be that generous. So, anyone else? Okay, department head reports.
don't really have a report. I just wanted to say thank you to all the council members, the mayor, the department heads for all their kindness and support during the last couple of months with my wife's illness. It means a lot to me, and it meant a lot to her. I just wanted to say thank you.
Welcome.
I know
Glad
what
that
you're
she's doing
feeling.
well.
It's been a challenging time, but God is good, and she's recovering, and we're getting there. But thank you.
Thank you, David. Anyone else?
Good evening again, council. I passed out a little basic spreadsheet earlier before the meeting started. And I just want to recap some of the information and data that we've learned since we placed our alternative response vehicle into service to handle the routine medical calls here in Fire Station 1's response district. And if you look at the top, I went back and looked at our response model of how we dispatched our fire companies to EMS calls when I first arrived until September 1st of 2022, and taken the same number of incidents that the EMS ARV responded to from when it was placed into service on September 5th, 2023 through December 31st, 2023. You can look at the two columns between the engine company and the truck company, and essentially then the engine and the truck took turns responding to medical calls. And there's some assumptions that have to be made in this, but we looked at all the calls and plotted their distance from Fire Station 1, and of course, they're all round trips. When you look at an engine company over the life of the apparatus, including the cost, maintenance, fuel, repairs, et cetera, it averages about $5 a mile to operate over the life of the vehicle. And the truck company or the ladder truck over the life of the vehicle with the same factors is about $22 a mile. So you look at those number of responses in the first line. So the approximate cost was about $22,000 to respond to those 495 incidents that Squad 1 responded to. And the second bit of information down is when we changed our response model on September 1st of 2022 to where the engine company primarily ran the EMS calls in Fire Station 1 zone, and the only time the truck would respond to a call is when the engine wasn't available. And you can see that reduced the cost of operation almost in half, from about $22,000 to around $10,000. So then I looked at the cost of operating the ARV for those same 495 calls, and you can see a significant difference of the cost of operation with per mile. And I just wanted to bring this to your attention, so we're bringing our data back to show where we're being effective and more efficient with our services to meet the service demand from the community. And at some point, I'm going to challenge my staff to figure out how we're going to put Squad 2 in service, probably from Fire Station 2, since that's our second busiest fire station. I just want to bring this to you. Again, this isn't exact numbers, but it gives you a very good idea of what the savings are of using an SUV to respond to routine medical calls versus a fire truck. And I'm here to answer any questions if you have them.
Chief, I'm glad to see this. I mean, we talked about doing this back with our previous chief, and we never did launch that program.
We tried it, but it didn't work.
Yeah.
So I'm delighted that you approved it.
Yeah, and I'm glad you put this to the numbers right here to see that, because that is a well of a difference right there.
Well, one of our challenges, and I'll say this professionally, we're going to face a fiscal crisis, and that cliff is coming soon. Fire apparatus are going up in cost 30% a year, and I don't see that slowing down with supply chain issues. And just honestly, the cost of business is constantly increasing, and we're trying to find ways to be more efficient. And I think you're going to see more cities adopt this as they realize what the cost savings are. And each city will be different on how they deploy this model, but I think, though, we can at least place one and potentially two more in service. We'll have to work through some challenges and to figure out the details, but we have good data now to base that decision on, if not anything, to save money for cost of operations, but the other goal is to extend the life of the apparatus so we don't have to replace them as often.
Good job.
Thank you.
Like good news. Anyone else? Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
By Councilwoman George, second by Councilman Fan. All in favor say aye. Opposed? Everybody have a lovely evening. It is 6:25.
I can't believe it.